Arnold had that iconic shoulder width, paired with a narrow waist, and that thick, wide cobra back. That V-taper was something else. Honestly, during that era, I'd say he had one of the biggest, if not the biggest, backs ever seen. Standing at 6 feet 2 inches with that massive, dense back, he truly stood out. I think the biggest mistake is that you go to the gym and you go through the motion, but you don't really have your mind inside the muscle. I've seen the guys training with me also 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day. But they look like shit. They look like shit is because they didn't concentrate, because they didn't even know why they were training. They want to inside the lat when you do the rowing, and you pull back and you flex the upper back and the center back, and then you let it down and you stretch and you think about that the wing is coming out now, or like a curtain is opening up. And we always thought about the curtain, right? This is when we did our lat spread. So you got to think about those things. When I first started training, I had a clear vision in my mind. I knew exactly how my body needed to look if I was going to be the best in the world. Now, if I needed a little more size on my back, what did I do? I trained hard, focused on exercises for thickness and width, and built those muscles to make my back massive like a machine. I've been doing this since my early days in Austria. If you want to build that wide, thick, powerful back like a real champion, you cannot skip this one. It's a classic, basic exercise, pull-ups or chin-ups. Chin-ups, they hit the biceps, they hit the lats, they're everything for that back. All exercises that you do with your own body weight are great. You know, and I put on around my waist 20 pounds, and I was struggling with the 20 pounds. But we did it because it was the only way to really open up those wings, the shoulder blades and the lats, and really create the width. Because lats is not for thickness of the back. Let's not fool ourselves here. It is all for width. Now take a deep breath, squeeze your glutes, brace your abs, feel the power in your back as you drive your elbows down, locking in those lats. Pull your chin to the bar, squeeze hard, then slowly lower yourself down. Repeat. Own every rep. And this last 2 or 3 or 4 repetitions, that's what makes actually the muscle then grow. And that's divides then one from a champion and one from not being a champion. I mean, as you remember, Steve Reeves, he did a lot of chin-ups and a lot of pull-downs, and he got this enormous wide back, but he didn't have much thickness because he was not a big believer in rowing. So the rowing exercises, if it's T-bar rowing or one-arm rowing or wide grip rowing with the barbell, all of those exercises, or cable rowing, all those exercises are specifically for the thickness of the back. And then you can direct it if it should be lower, should be higher, should be more in the center, more on the outside, and all of those things depending what exercise you do. With that, now we're moving on to exercises for thickness. The wide grip barbell row. This is the perfect exercise for back thickness. You want to go heavy? Push that weight. You're hitting the teres major, teres minor, and those lats building that depth. And with this exercise, you can target your lower back, which you don't see much of these days in bodybuilding. But trust me, it's crucial. There's a lot of bodybuilders that have a kind of a deficiency when it comes to the lower back and the striation of the lower back, which you only get from stiff-legged deadlifts and from regular deadlifting, from bend-over rowing and all the stuff without supporting your chest. You got to let your body free and let the lower back hold you up while you're doing the bend-over rowing. And we did like off the bench, balancing on the bench up to 315 pounds bend-over rowing. Because that's what gave you then that strength in the back and gave you the thickness of the back. Because remember, when you train the back, you need the width and you need the thickness. But you need the thickness on the lower part of the back, you need the thickness on the top of the back and the outer back and then the center back. So you got to train within defined exercises for all of those different things. These days, you don't see this exercise much. It's old school, done off the bench, balancing on it. This allows you to lower the bar even more, getting that deep stretch in the lats and lower back. Alright, next exercise, the lat pull down. This one is fantastic for width. You can do it with a close grip or wide grip. But let me tell you, I always went for the wide grip and the hammer grip. This really targets those lats and builds the V-taper. So important, especially for those lat spread poses. From the front and the back, you want the wings to pop out, like the curtain opening on the stage. The size, the dominance. You gotta make them see your wings. Grab the handle with a wide overhand grip. First, squeeze your shoulder blades down, then bend your elbows and pull the handle towards your torso. Squeeze at the bottom of the movement. Slowly lower it back down. Keep your abs tight to avoid arching your back too much. Keep going for the reps. Arnold used to do this all the time on his back days. Just look at the size of his lats in that lat spread pose. It speaks for itself. This is the exercise you always see Arnold doing brutally in videos and pictures, the T-bar row. Arnold believed in training by feel, letting the body guide the motion and focusing on the mind-muscle connection. The lats are a massive muscle group. They don't grow with light weight. For Arnold, rowing wasn't about strict form or textbook technique. It was about moving heavy weight in a way that forced the muscles to respond. Arnold didn't care what looked pretty. He cared about building raw size. So the rowing exercises. If it's T-bar rowing, all those exercises are specifically for the thickness of the back. And then you can direct it if it should be lower, should be higher, should be more in the center, more on the outside, and all those things depending what exercise you do. T-bar rows were essential for building a thick, powerful back. You lower that bar and then explode back up at pure intensity. I might be rocking my body here, but trust me, my mind is right there in that muscle, feeling every inch of it grow. We did so many exercises and now my back is aching. But you know what? I don't feel fainting in the gym. It could happen, sure, but I don't care. I just push through. Now, it's time for seated cable rows. You sit down in the machine, grab the cable and pull it right into your abs. Every single time you pull, you squeeze that back so hard. And don't forget, keep your chest up. You have to keep your chest up. That's the key when you're training back. And when you release, control it. Let those wings open up. Feel those shoulder blades, lats stretch. That's how you build width. Look at that. See how Arnold keeps his chest up and really squeezes that back. And when he releases, he leans forward to get the maximum stretch. With this exercise, you can target any muscle in the back like a laser, focusing on every little detail. Alright, now it's time for the final exercise, behind the neck lat pull downs. You pull that bar all the way back to your neck and you lean your head forward. This will burn your upper back like hell. Squeeze that back at the bottom. You never stop moving, rep after rep. You build the pump, you feel the blood pumping inside the muscle. Always be in control, never let up. Keep pushing, that's how you grow. After all these exercises, you come to the end of your workout. Now every muscle in your back should be pumped, burning and screaming for more. It's hard work, but that's what it takes to build a massive back. You've put in the effort. Congratulations. You did it. It's the greatest. Thank you.